All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, like always, I want to give infinite praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachakodash. Double honors, of course, to the apostles and elders, Great Millstone, GMS, the men who rule and teach well, all right, the men who taught us this truth, and peace and salutations be unto you, fellow Alchemy brothers that are also pushing out this word in faith, truth, and in sincerity. All right, and in this video, Lord's willing, we've been over this topic. But of course, talking about our people, all right, the heritage of the Lord, all right, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, all right, of course, his people being Israel, all right, and being likened unto a speckled bird, all right. Now, of course, this is just, back to the basics, us being as babes, we have to teach things like this, of course, to our people, this being one of the many mysteries, but also one of the basics of the scriptures, all right, so we could just hit it off in Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour.
But that was the point at the beginning. All right, the heritage, my heritage, is likened unto a speckled bird. And Lord willing, in post-production, you see just that. A speckled bird with different spots on it. Well, it was funny because when I recorded it, I thought of just that precept, and I'm pretty sure brothers have thought that before, man, through the Spirit, where they see a bird of many shapes and colors, and that's basically what the Lord has likened unto his people. When I recorded that, I thought of the perfect time, and here it is, And as a disclaimer, of course, because we, here in Great Millstone, we did teach something not contrary, but something different concerning the scriptures. At one time, calling our people that look like the other different heathen nations as confusion of faces. But of course, I was corrected into the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, starting with our apostles and elders, our teachers. We know better, and we also understand better through the scriptures, man.
If I could say, it's all spiritual, because the first time we actually saw a speckled bird like that was at the camp spot, but we were never able to record it until through the spirit you saw it again, in a different time.
Out and about. Yep.
Yeah, while being out and about. So, and like the scriptures say, the scriptures say, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird, like I said in Jeremiah, because not only is, is a speckled bird of many different colors and all these different things, but also a speckled bird is unclean, because that's basically the state of Jake right now, man, that unclean state as well, man. Okay, we're like, I believe it was Apostle Paul that said, know that ye were Gentiles, because we were living like the heathen at one point, us that wasn't in the know, So, if I can get this, and when it says mine heritage, that's talking about Israel, because we're the Lord's inheritance. He called us his heritage in Joel 3 and 2, So,
if I can get this real quick, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. Now, this is, of course, the origins of that, because, of course, knowing that our people are scattered abroad among the other heathen nations, which is exactly what I'm about to read, you have to understand also that, yes, this is actually a curse. All right, the origins of this is a punishment. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You see? So the Lord told us that he's going to scatter us among all people, meaning among all nations, other nations that the Lord isn't dealing with.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to be scattered among them. And not only that, we're going to serve their gods, all right? Which our fathers, of course, has never been associated themselves with, man, with essentially other idols, man, even wood and stone. And not only that, because really, if you think about it, when you're serving another god, you're also taking on their customs. Because our custom, being Hebrew Israelites, right, we have a power, and that power is what? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, which Yahweh, that's the name of the Heavenly Father, by Hashem, in the Hebrew is in the name, and Yahushai is the true name of his only begotten Son. So the Most High, in the name of his Son, that's whom we serve. All right, that's whom we live for. All right, to keep his commandments.
If I may say also, because a disclaimer, basically you have to remember that those Israelites that look like other Israelites are Israelites according to the lineage of their father. Of course we're not gonna know. We're not. I mean, so like, not that we're not gonna know, but we don't have the records. Even if we look like another nation, we don't have the records to show who our patriarch is. That's all through the Spirit. But just know that when it comes down to it, man, it's the lineage of your father, man. Okay, because if my great grandmother was black, that doesn't matter. If it's all about the lineage of the father, man. I bet since some can't go back that far. Hey, it's all through the spirit. If you have faith in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, you believe in 100% truth, you would have to be an Israelite, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
you want to get something up?
Yeah. Because ultimately, what the curse was that we would be scattered among these different nations, and it said that we worship other gods, even wood and stone. And that's exactly what Jake is doing, man. We're amongst these heathen, man. And what happens with Jake, man? Through the process of time, man, Jake gets with these heathen women, man, and they procreate, man. They have more children, and then those children have more children. Those sons have sons with heathen women. And through the process of time, man, not only is the look gone, all right, not only do we look like these other nations, but we basically almost became those other nations, spiritually, man, by way of what? Worshiping their gods, man. Like it even said, what was it, prophet, it was in the book, it was either I think, no, it was in Nehemiah, where he heard the children of, of the Israelites, they were speaking in the tongues of the other nation, man.
I think it had something to do with Ammon.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong.
I forgot which nation, but they were doing that, and that's only first generation, man.
Yeah, so
No, you're good. I was just that. Can you imagine? Generations and generations and generations, man. That's why you see people that look like Moabites, but they have that salt, man. People that look like Ammonites, but they have that what people what people say that swag, so to speak, man. Because eventually going back down their lineage, more than likely their father was of Israelite descent, man. Okay?
Yeah, precept.
Yeah. Tobit chapter 13 and 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. Right. And I brought that out, what? Because, and also this is another thing. This is what we're doing right now. We're confessing Yahweh Shai before the Gentiles, because what? Well, first off, we're helping to seal the elect, and we're confessing among the Gentiles, because that's where Israel would be, man. All right, that's what we were scattered for, reproach and a curse. And guess what? Not every single Israelite that's gonna wake up is gonna look like the typical Negro, Latino, Native American, man. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna bring something out, but I can't remember her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But like the brother mentioned as well. Of course, through the process of time, our people are gonna eventually, dilute themselves, getting with these other heathen women, all right, and that has happened before in the scriptures. And pursuant to Numbers 1 and 18, of course, it's by the house of your fathers, man. So yeah, that our people looking, our people looking like these other nations. That's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
And brothers have seen it before, man. The brothers have been into the highways and hedges. They have come across an Israelite foreigner. They have come across an individual that doesn't look like the stereotypical Black, Hispanic, and Native American, but is actually an Israelite. And ultimately, if you're teaching that it's only Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, like he has to be an actual so-called Mexican. Like he has to be a so-called Mexican from Mexico. That's just stupid, all right? We go to the spirit.
That's right.
All right?
Spiritual man,
spiritual man,
all things. Romans 8 and 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Right? Because what? The scriptures bear witness to who the children of Israel are, man. All right. Also, what? Your essence, man. If you and forget about just the typical, he knows how to dunk, he gotta be a Judite. Like, no, man. All right, it's about who believes in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We could care less if you can sing, dance, do backflips with no hands and some crazy shit. No, man, we don't give a shit about that, man. If you believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and you can accept the 100% truth, no matter what you look like, you'd have to be an Israelite, because that's a gift from Yahweh Shai, man. According to the scriptures, man, the Lord only deals with Israel, man. Psalms 147, 19 through 20, Amos 3 and 1, Right. We know the basics, The Lord deals with his people, man. Yeah. So regardless of what you look like, if you have faith in the name Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you believe in 100% truth, man, you'd have to be an Israelite.
And another example besides, I know a lot of brothers use the example of Blake Griffin, but there's another person I wanted to mention as well, because you had this Jake get with a so-called white woman, all right? But guess what? Which he had a daughter, all right? But that daughter looks like a straight up Karen, with so-called Jake features, so to speak, man. She didn't even got the hair,
I don't know Richie's daughter.
Oh no, well,
His daughter like damn near like 8 of mine.
either way, and it's funny because a person might look at that woman not as the same way as a Jake, but that's ultimately because they're carnal. But guess what? She has the spirit of a so-called black person or a so-called Latino and Native American person, man.
Yeah.
You know, so again, that's not through. I just want to make that point again because it's not through carnal means, but judging by the appearance, but more so by the spirit. Does that person resonate with the scriptures? Does he actually have belief and agree with what we're saying? So if you have anything else, we can jump to Acts.
I can mention real quick a good example of the Israelite foreigner, if brothers don't know, is Tina Marie, the singer. If you was to listen to her music without seeing what she looked like, you'd think she was a so-called black woman. So that's a perfect example of an Israelite foreigner, man.
There's many examples, man.
Yeah, many
examples that the Lord, which he did on purpose. It was also the Lord's.
Isaiah 11.
No, we can get that in Acts. I lost my place. 7 in Slovakia. Lost my place.
Acts.
I
already have one.
Dealing with the eunuch, because that's essentially the point.
I know where it's at.
Because the Lord put this example here for a reason. For us spiritual men in these times. Of course, Lord's willing, we're part of that number. We can discern between these different spirits. Our people being amongst the different nations, man, and that's ultimately a huge stumbling block, even amongst Israel, man. And when I say amongst Israel, I'm talking about the other Israelite camps that don't get along with the doctrine, man, thinking it's false, saying it's false, saying that we're bringing in heathen, thinking that we're letting in so-called white people in. That's total blasphemy, man. Because first and foremost, you gotta be a spiritual man to see these things, man. Me and the brother just brought a good handful of precepts out, man, telling you that it was the curses, that we've been scattered as a people, really as a punishment, all right, and that what we have to discern through the spirit, all right, the spirit of things, man. All right.
I got Acts 29.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Ethiopian eunuch. Yeah, Acts chapter 8.
27. Verse 27.
Yeah, Acts chapter 8, verse 27. And he arose, and the situation, real quick for some context, Philip is being led,
He says it.
By the Spirit. No, because the verse you want me to start, I'll start at 26. It says, Acts 8 and 26, and the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go toward the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. Verse 27, and he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, talking about the Ethiopian eunuch, he had charge of her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for worship, to worship, Salakia.
And right off the bat, all right, just because you see the word Ethiopian there, you can't just immediately picture, an actual Ethiopian, a natural born Cushite. That's not true, all right? I'm gonna spoil it right off the bat. That man is an Israelite, all right? He would have to be, man.
Like I say, this verse itself, spoiled it because it said that had come to Jerusalem for worship. According to the scriptures, the heathen would follow our law, statutes, and commandments. What in the kingdom? So this clearly proves that this man is an Israelite. Why would he come to Jerusalem to worship? Same with Cornelius. Why would Cornelius pay tithes and have faith in Yahweh Yahushai?
So many avenues we can go at, but
there's too many angles, man.
Go ahead.
Verse 28.
Sure.
Was returning and sitting in his chariot, read Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me?
You see? So why would the Spirit be, on what's happening, with this event concerning this so-called Ethiopian, really a brother or an Israelite, all right? Reading the book of Isaiah, he's inquiring, and sincerely, albeit because what the scripture says it, man. The scripture is written, man, in the book of Acts, all right, the eighth chapter. All right, so knowing this, him trying to inquire, trying to find out the understanding or the substance of the book of Isaiah, Isaiah in the Greek, all right. So with that understanding, you know that what? It's the spirit that beareth witness. The spirit that beareth witness in this so-called Ethiopian man, all right, a man from Ethiopia. Now, whether he looks like a so-called Ethiopian or whether he just looks like any other nation, that doesn't matter because what? Every Israelite is diverse looking, man. All right, the Lord isn't just, brothers I mentioned it before. Not every brother's gonna have that Israelite look, with the cornrows or the braids and the garments and the big beards.
The Judah beard. And,
yeah, right. Yeah, every brother's gonna look like a Judite. Everybody's gonna look like a Judite, man. Nah, that's not the case.
We were way too disobedient.
The Lord,
to look,
like the Lord is diverse in that way, man. And the brother read it in the first precept that we brought out is that what the heritage of the Lord being likened unto a speckled bird, man. All right, that's speaking on the whole nation of Israel. And don't even get me started on Ephraim, man. All right, the northern kingdom, so-called Latinos and Native Americans.
Ephraim is a cake now turned. If I can make a quick correction, I believe I said that Cornelius paid tithes. The scripture said he gave much alms. Salakia. Just wanted to correct that. But did you want me to get that in Hosea? Because I had another precept.
We can get that in Hosea. Well, no, Salakia. We can get your precept and start from there.
Yeah, Matthew 24:31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect, which is the elect is the ones who are allotted to be delivered, man, in the end times, man. All right, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, right? So if we're scattered everywhere, is every single Israelite going to look like the typical Israelite? No, because wherever we've been scattered to, we've been there for many generations, man. Look at the northern kingdom, man. Look how diverse we look, and it hasn't even been. We were over here by ourselves for a while. We were over here in Arsareth, man. And we look diverse, man. We haven't been mingling with the nations for that very long. Really, look at some Judites, man. They after 2 generations, the seed of that man looks completely different, man. So that
was what? That was Matthew's?
Matthew's 24, yeah. Because if I can say real quick, because it said that they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds. Basically different parts of the earth, man. You don't think that there's gonna be Israelites that look like so-called Moabites, man? Mm-hmm. What did John the Revelator see in Revelation's 7th chapter, man? Those Israelites that were of different nations and multitudes, man, those were Israelites. Those weren't heathen,
Mm-hmm. And honestly, the fact that I mentioned the 4 corners of the earth, meaning the whole globe, right? That even corresponds with back in Deuteronomy, man.
Yep.
We were scattered everywhere, and so the elect that's among those, those sprinklets, if that's a word, the Lord is going to deliver those same individuals that were scattered in those different places, man. It's not that hard to get, Like I mentioned before, this is legit a stumbling block to our people, man.
To the natural man.
Those that are of Israel are not of Israel, man. Ultimately, because they believe that this is the false way. But what? You have to be a spiritual man to see this. And ultimately, the Lord has to just really, you have to be born with this, man. That gift, to see it, to sense it. Like, oh, man, this is an Israelite, man. This man, hey, the Lord's dealing with this man.
I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Acts 2:5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Because what? Our people, even if, it was by choice where an Israelite moved to a specific area, it's possible that Israelite has kids, all right, has seed, all right, with the heathen women. The seed looks different. And then that seed, those males have more kids with more heathen women, and just continues on. Next thing you know, you have a completely different looking Israelite, man. But nevertheless, if that seed line goes back to an Israelite man, those are Israelites. Period. Point blank. Period, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the scripture.
I'm gonna just bring this out. This is the last precept, Lord willing. This is Amos chapter 3:1, and I think the brother loosely paraphrased it. Mm-hmm. This is Amos 3:1. It says, "Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying." And that's the whole point. I mean, read verse 2, it goes into how he's going to punish us and only us for our iniquities, man.
That's right.
So, but like I just read right now, what the old children of Israel, man, so that's who the Lord is dealing with. Mm-hmm. So that alone should tell you that what? In these future prophecies, hence the name Jacob's trouble in the time that we're coming in right now, right here, right now, in this moment, as of this recording, we understand that these things only correspond with Israel. And the same thing goes for what other Israelite brothers that may look like other heathen nations, but are in fact Israelites, man. Through the Spirit and through faith.
That's right.
All right. So, Lord's willing, this was edifying, just bringing out basic precepts on that specific topic. So, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, our great millstone, the men who teach and rule well. We also want to say peace and salutations be unto you, fellow Akim, your brothers that are also pushing out this word and truth, faith, and sincerity. With that, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.